Dr. Nathan Jr. here from the Holistic Health Service in Inglewood, California. And for those of you who are interested, we're on Facebook and YouTube. And if you want to subscribe to that, then you can do that, and you can hear anything we're doing, after that. So right now we are we're getting started, and we're going to be talking about what we always talk about: health, natural healing, and also sharing some of the stories that we've had to happen to us throughout the 40 plus years of being part of the national health programs, and being a naturopathic doctor for many years, and traveled all over the country and out of the country, and it's been a great journey, and the journey continues. So right now we are tuned into Facebook and YouTube, and like I say, if you subscribe to it, then you could be on it whenever we're on it. We're here for 1 hour sharing, and just giving out some good knowledge, because information can be anything. Some knowledge so that those who want to do better and want to help themselves can. It's amazing how people can go so long on the wrong things, and then they'll show up here, or they'll call, and they ask you numerous questions. Some ask all kinds of questions, and it's we attempt to answer those, and often we have to just let the person know that natural healing is different from allopathic, from the regular stuff, pharmaceuticals. We operate totally different. We don't use any products like that. Ours are all plant-based, and the plant-based things have everything your body needs when you put them together properly. But it's like anything else. If you don't put it together properly, then it probably won't work, or it may even create a problem. But natural healing, natural products go in line with the human body. It's just that so often we have people who have been so long dealing with allopathic instead of homeopathic. It gets to be a problem for them. But holistic medicine, plant-based medicine, is what man should be using, and a lot of them don't, because either we don't know, and we don't want to take the time to learn how natural medicine works. So we have something happen, we show up at the doctor, and we go to the pharmaceuticals instead of the natural stuff. It's up to the individual, to learn more about natural, understand, how it works through the body and why it's more effective. all of those things are important, because when you keep putting chemicals in your body over and over and over and over, and you're creating problems for yourself. When you learn about natural and understand that, and understand how it works in the body and why it works in the body, then you find a much better road to travel with your health. Because if you're constantly putting in, you know, things that are not plant-based, and you're setting yourself up for something down the road. And we wouldn't want that to happen to anyone. So that word for the wise, to the wise be sufficient. Holistic medicine is God's medicine, man's medicine, and we need to find out more about it. And instead of just saying, well, I go to my doctor, and my question is, what do you know? What is your doctor? What's your doctor doing? What is he subscribing to? Because allopathic and homeopathic, you know, you have different things working here. So we believe in natural, plant-based, and that's what man's diet and anything else is medicine. Because if you get the plants right, put them in the right stage, in the right order, they work. They work all the time. And you know, we're constantly sharing with people that call in, and it's amazing how some of them don't really already know, but they listen and they say, well, that makes sense, and I'm going to give that a try. And then they do that and find out that, wow, okay, I did this such and such time, and you know, it helped me. Well, you know, the plant-based nutrition, plant-based things that we use are, you know, they are very potent, but they're never going to harm anyone. And as long as you put them in your body properly, you'll get good results. Now, is it instantaneous as some do with pharmaceutical things? No, but what is the outcome of when you're putting something in there just to get a quick shot, and what's the long-term effects? And that's where the problem comes in, because you keep doing things that are not natural, and over a period of time, it's going to create something that you didn't want. And we see a lot of that as well. The people who have gone through this and that and the other, you know, with the plant, not the plant-based, with the ones that is used by the allopathics, the homeopathics or whatever. When we put the wrong things in, we get the wrong results. We do the right things, we get the right results. And so I encourage you to learn a lot about natural. Just take some time, get a book. There are lots of books out there that can teach you a lot about natural healing. And anyone who's either too lazy or have some issue because they think that the pharmaceuticals are going to, you know, fix them faster, or you might get a quick dose of something, but how long is this going to last? And you keep doing this day after day after day, because usually that's what happens, because they're masking symptoms instead of, you know, curing or healing things. If you have a problem, you want the problem to be solved. You don't want the problem to just be, you know, just keep coming and keep throwing something at it, and it's not making you better. So learn how to eat to live instead of live to eat. And that's about as simple as it gets. You know, let your body be its own doctor, but you have to give it the ingredients that it will use to do this. So a lot of plant-based things here that helps the whole body to get on the right track, to clear up, you know, different liquid things in the body, to do things that help your colon, things that help your liver, things that help your gallbladder. And don't ever remove your gallbladder. Don't ever do that. And those of you who have already done it, you know, c'est la vie. But there are ways that you can detoxify your body and everything in it. If you but study a little bit, find out how it's done, and then you find yourself in the right area of life, in the right area of things that can help you overcome whatever may be bothering you at the time. But if you keep looking for quick fixes and short-term things, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get short-term situations, and a lot of them are not going to bode you well. So again, natural is better. Study. Get a good book. There are some great books out there that you can get to help you along the road of having good health. And periodically we should detox, whether you think you're sick or whatever. Just, well, I haven't had a good detox say you haven't had one in a year. Well, that's too long. That's it's time to you to let me take a break here and get in a general cleanse so I can keep my body from going down the wrong track. And it's not the hardest thing to do, but it seems that to some that it's more than they want to do. And if that's the case, well, not a whole lot we can do about that. We can pray for you, and maybe you'll wake up and as I say, smell the herbs and decide that, okay, this let me try this for a while and see if this does what it's said to be. And you do that. Once you get into the habit of doing that, you'll find out a lot of things. I had to learn that. I didn't start off doing this. Some of it I did because I grew up in the country on a farm, and so my folks raised a lot of their own food and cooked it and did whatever. So it wasn't coming from GMO because they weren't GMO in their stuff. But once I got away from there, some other things happened because I went to the military and they started, I don't know where the food was coming from. It was just a lot of it, and we were gobbling it up. So some of the things that happened on the way to where I am, approaching 80 years, there was some things happened for the first 30 plus, I don't know, 30, 34 years, 35, somewhere in there, when I got totally engrossed in natural medicine. I believe it was 35, 36, somewhere in there. And it's been that ever since. And it's a joy to meet people who are open and willing to help themselves, and they listen. Then again, there are some that they show up and you may never see them again, and then again they may pop up at some point and they'll tell you how, I felt so good when I did that, and then, well, what happened? Oh, well, it's always some kind of answer. But the best answer is natural medicine will do all for you that you need if you do it the right way, the right times, and do it continually. Because if we are putting dead stuff into our bodies, how do you expect the body to stay alive when you're killing everything? You're destroying the nutrients in the food. That's why we do the natural things, because we don't want to destroy anything. And even for cooking, and there's some things you can cook, but you don't cook them in a pressure cooker for a few, half hour or something so you can eat them right away. Why? Because you just killed everything in there. You just turned a natural plant with nutrients into something that you like to taste, but it's not doing anything else for you. That's why it's so important to understand natural healing, natural medicine, and how gallbladder is so important in your body. You should never have it taken out. And your liver is the busiest thing in your body, and it dumps into the gallbladder. So everything in your body is they're working together for a purpose. And that's why we need to understand our body, understand your body and learn about your body. Read a book. There are books out there telling you about this part of the body, that part of the body, how to detox this, how to detox that. But if you never, take time to study these things, then how would you know? And then everybody's looking for somebody else to take care. I get accolades from folks, and I appreciate that. It's nice when someone just comes up and say, well, you helped me back such a time, or you helped my parent, you helped my sister, you helped my friend, somebody you helped, going along this path. And sure, you feel good about that when somebody says something nice. But the name of the game is, you're doing it because you have a charge, as my father used to say, a charge to keep I have. And when I stepped into the realm of holistic medicine, that's what I did. I set myself up to be a person who would be traveling the universe, well, at least the U.S. and some states some countries out of the U.S., traveling, meeting people, sharing knowledge to assist those who, had a problem, to help, assist them how they could overcome it. And if you think that wasn't fun, you missed out, because there were places that I went during that trek of 30 plus, close to 40 years, and I all over the place, out of the country, into the country, and some places I went tripled, trying 3-4 times to the same place, and it was always a pleasure to go back to a spot that you had been to, and because it was great to go somewhere where you hadn't been, because now you meet new people and you get to come into contact with people who you don't know, and so things it just kept expanding, and I'm looking forward to being able to do some more of that. In fact, I have a situation coming up tomorrow that is helping me with restoration of my left eye, and because I need all of that to be able to see all of these things, and it's part of my life, and I've done so much to get to this far, and God willing, I will be able to do more. There are lots of people that need help, and some who are looking for it, they just haven't found the right person. So I will set myself up as someone who can help, and the healthier my body, then of course the healthier it would be for the person that show up. And so it's always good to be able to reach out to someone if they have, they're asking for assistance, and that you can do something to help them. And again, don't forget about we're active on Facebook and YouTube, and that's all Dr. Nathan Rabb. That's me. And if you subscribe to those, then you can get in on all of our different programs. We are, as I said, we are here to make a difference, and a difference we're looking to make a positive difference, not just say we're just going to throw something over here and make something look different over there. No, this is about life and having life more abundantly. And so how do we do that? We do it by putting the right food in, getting the proper rest, having the proper attitude. And I'm sure there are other things that I could mention there, but it's all about nature, natural, and God's pharmacy and man. We need to understand the difference between, natural and unnatural. And sometimes you can be helped with, like pharmaceuticals. There are people who've been helped, but it's not something you need to be trying to do every day. If you're eating healthy and you're using good natural sources to deal with any little, things that may happen, any little malady, then you're on the right road. You're on the right road to the promised land, even though you're not in a hurry to get there. But it's much better if you live a healthy life while you are walking this path. And so, get acquainted with natural medicine. Like I said, there are a lot of books. I often talk about Harvey and Marilyn Diamond and the cycles of life, cycles of the body. And it was something that when I first learned it, it was fascinating. That along with a lot of other things, because I just kept going from book to book. Some of them you read a lot of, and some you get one paragraph of it, and that takes you up, upstream where you want to go. But the cycles of the body are very, very important. And when we do them according to the book and to the way it's supposed to be done, that's when everything works the way it should. And there are some that will do bits of it and not do the whole thing, but it's better to do the whole process and follow it as it is designated. And this helps a lot because there's energy. There's energy in everything that's alive. And if everything that's alive has energy, anything that's dead is void of energy. The energy is gone from that. So if if you're still alive and you can hear me, then that means that it's still time for you to switch from the bad habits you may have to get into the positive habits or the good habits, things that will help you to live a long and fruitful life. And when you are dealing with God's pharmacy, that's where all of the good stuff is going to come from. And if you follow that, then you can't help but win. The energy is throughout the cosmos, throughout the hemisphere, throughout everything. Everything is energy. And when a human being or a person, human, when they have a malady or an illness, it's usually caused by something that they did, something they put into their body, or something they came into contact with that may have been may have come from the outside and got on the outer part of your skin, because your skin is permeable and things can get right in there. So it's not like your skin is a barrier to stop everything from happening. But when you put the body into the proper order, you get much better, benefit from everything you do. And so the cycles of the body, there's 3 different cycles, and they start at 4 a.m. in the morning, and that's the first cycle, and that one is to help get the waste and stuff out of your body. So that's the elimination cycle. And it goes from 4 a.m. till noon. And it helps the body to get rid of all the toxic waste. Now, and a lot of people eat what they eat break fast, or they eat things in the morning that they have to chew up, and it sits in the body for a couple hours or 2-3 hours trying to digest. And what you've just done is you've interfered with the earliest cycle of the body, because that cycle is there to cause the flushing of toxins out of the system through the stomach. Through the stomach, and through the different other things in your body. And some will enter and go out of the bottom of the body. Others will go up the ladder to the through the limbic system of the body, and then into the subconscious and conscious mind. And they will clear theirs that way. They will get a lot of energy. When you do it right, the body will be energized, and we just keep getting better and better. But if we interfere with that cycle, the early morning cycle, with things that are hard to digest, then they're going to sit in your system for three hours at least, trying to digest. And often we are putting the wrong things together, so they don't break down together. And then we get into the middle cycle, which is the appropriation cycle. That's when the body is appropriating things to have them turn into energy, so that when you get to the assimilation cycle, all of the good stuff now has been digested, and the body is consuming all of the nutrients that happen in that period of time. So that's why those cycles are so important. And if you find that book and just start reading it, you find out a lot of good information. The body cycles work to help you, have a much better life and a better health and all of that. So it's God's plan for man is to be healthy. And for those of you who are not quite aware with what the limbic arc and all of that is, the limbic system is part of what's when something it goes up the body, it goes up the limbic system to the subconscious, and then into the conscious mind, and then out into the body as energy. That's how that works. And so that's happening in everybody's body, even though a lot of us don't do it correctly. And we often cause problems by putting things together that don't go together at that time. So make sure that when you are eating, or you're consuming something that you're getting ready to eat, make sure these things go together in harmony, and that it's not going to just be something you throw together and it's going to cause problems for you down the road. You don't want that. But there are a lot of people that are doing it. We have all kinds of things we have people every day come in with swollen this, and irritated this, and it's on and on and on. And all of these things are caused by something we're doing that's out of order. That's why it's so important to learn about your body and how it stays in a healthy state versus being out of order a lot, and you're either bedridden, or you maybe have a lot of obesity, and you're trying to figure out how to get rid of that. And we often have people that call that have serious issues, and they've already been through the allopath, not the allopath, they've been through the pharmaceutical area, and now they're still looking for help. But the whole thing comes to detoxing the body, cleansing the body, getting the stuff out that's not being beneficial for you. And if we don't make that part of our lives, then we're setting ourselves up for disaster, or a lot of pain and suffering. And in 40 plus years of being in the holistic lifestyle, as I've seen a lot of it. I've been been with people that you tried to help, you did all you could to help them, but they were a bit far gone, or they didn't follow the plan. And that often happens. A person will come to you, and you share with them, and you let them know what they can do to start cleaning up their body so they can heal it. And they'll start it, and right away they stop because I don't like that. That didn't taste good. Well, that's too bad, because all of these things are not going to taste like apple pie and ice cream. Some of these things are going to have a little bitterness in them. Some will have other things that you may not like. But the idea is, a lot of these plants have just what you need to get your body back in the proper perspective and the proper health. But if you ignore it, you'll be ignored. And for those of you who do listen, understand that it's not the hardest thing to do. But if we're caught up in, I don't like this, I don't like that, this don't taste good, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. If you have a problem that you want to fix, you need to go and get whatever natural plants that you can that's going to help you, regardless of what it might taste like. It's not everything that's it's that old saying, everything that glitters ain't gold, and everything that tastes good is not good for your body. Some things are going to have some that will have a bitter taste, a little bit of weed in it. But if your health is more important than something other than that, or you just want to eat something that tastes good, and you're going to go on down the track, that's not going to help you. It's not. There are many people that already tried that, so you don't have to do it. They can let you know that it didn't work. And very often we have callers that talk about a friend or parent or brother, sister, someone who is in danger of leaving here prematurely because of a condition that was brought on by something that they consumed. And it's not always food. Sometimes it's alcohol. Sometimes it's other things. Things that your body were not designed to just soak up and be happy with. So that's why it's study to show yourself approved, a workman worthy of his hire. If you have a body and you're finding yourself with some pain or some itching or some whatever, in fact, lately we've had many people come in and they're talking about how they're itching, or they have swellings here, or they have various things like that. And all of these things that they're talking about, it manifested from something they were doing wrong. And if you don't find out what it was that you erred in, how will you ever learn how to fix it? Well, what most people are, they're looking for someone else to fix it, and it's just amazing. And I always attempt to share with them that these things happen in your body because you haven't been keeping the body in good in good cleansing and shape. You've been feeding it a lot of stuff that it didn't need, and now that it's clogged up inside, or there's some lumps and bumps and whatever, now you're looking for a miracle. That's that song, I'm looking for a miracle. Well, a lot of people are looking for miracles, but the biggest miracle is you learning how to help yourself with the right ingredients so that you don't get to that point. Or even if you have gotten to where your body is out of balance, you can bring it back, but you're not going to bring it back the same way that you brought it out of balance like it is. It means that now you have to learn how to reverse that. The body is self-healing, but it can't do it by itself. If you are eating and drinking and everything that you like and want and expect the body to just fix everything, it's not going to happen. Life ain't like that. When you are doing the right things the right way, you usually don't have too many, accidents or too many bad things. You put the right foods in the body, you get the right results. Those are the things that keep you up instead of knocking you down. And so we always attempt to share knowledge, and it's not, we're not in a state of shock or something when somebody comes in with a problem. It's just that, what do you want to do? You have this problem. Okay, this is what you can do. You can go through a good cleanse. You can go through a detox. You can go through, we have programs here that you can do to help eliminate toxins in this area of the body, that area of the body. And they're not going to necessarily do them all at the same time. There's going to be where you start one area and you work that for a bit until you get it going, and then you bring in another one, and you're using them at different intervals, different times of the day. You don't just try to throw everything in the same basket. And that's what a lot of people do. They want to just throw it all together like they do when they're eating. They throw everything in the same bowl. Well, when you are dealing with a situation of a toxic body, you need to put things together in a proper way, that you give one part, you give it time to have some movement of waste from it, and then you bring in another part, and you do them at different intervals. You don't do them both at the same time. And this is how you will get these things to changing for you. And many people over the years that I was traveling here and there, not everyone got well. I would never tell you that. I'm not a liar. But a lot of people did, and some did it for a part time, you might say, because they went right back to their bad habits. But then there are some who still years later are still walking that path. Why? Because they found it so much nicer to be healthy than to be sick or in pain a lot. And it's amazing how these things happen, because I've had lots of folks come here that started out, got them a detox program, and you see them years later, and they're right back where they were. And then you also find some that are still, periodically they get their cleanse, because they understand that if I don't do some of these things right, I'm going to end up doing all the other things wrong. And that's that's not good. the best way to do these things is you periodically just clean up. Spend some time, detoxing your body. Put more effort into that than eating. But you can use, juices. You can use berries. You can use different things and make nice smoothies out of them. We have superfoods here that you can put that together with some berries and maybe a piece of lemon, a little piece of orange or something. You make a tasty drink and you drink that. The superfood is loaded with nutrients, and the other things are healthy because they come from the tree. They're not something that's been grown GMO'd and have no life. But it's so many different things that one can do to create health instead of creating sickness, which a lot of people are doing, creating sickness. And being a part of a place where I've been within two or three spaces, and it's been a period of 43 to 44 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. But each one of those places, there was a starting point. Learning just kept going. Learning kept going. Then traveling started, moving around throughout not the whole universe, but a lot of places. Went to overseas, went Canada, different places that for seminars and things like that, And a lot of that was just learning how other people, how they live their lives, and what the ones who were doctors or whatever, how they were doing, because you can always learn something from someone who has knowledge. You can't, if a person has no knowledge, it's difficult for you to learn from them. But then you can share something with them, and each one reach one, each one teach one. And so traveling the United States was one of the most enjoyable things that I have done, and going to so many different places, and a lot of them, going to multiple times, and people are always, happy to see you coming back. And or when you get ready to leave, they'll ask you, well, when are you coming back? We like to have you come back. And there's those that I went to 3 or 4 times because they asked me to come, and they always either sent me a ticket or I would drive and they'd pay my gas and whatever. So it was things that I enjoyed, and the only thing about it is right now I can't do that, but with the help of God and some good doctors, we plan to be on the road again. Maybe not the same distance, but on the road again, just to do some traveling here and there, and see some people I haven't seen in a long time, and help somebody that needs some help. If I can just help somebody as I pass this way, then my travels won't be in vain. And so that's what I definitely look forward to doing, is just moving around and talking to people, visiting the churches. There's quite a few that I used to attend, and they were all very nice people, and some will come to my office now and say, well, when are you going to? I said, well, we're looking forward to doing that real soon, where we're coming to visit you. But, you can't do it when your lights are dim. But, with the grace of the good Lord, we plan to be able to do that. God willing, we will move around. We won't stay in one place, because that's not that's not a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun traveling and sharing knowledge, and it's still in me. And so, God willing, we will do again, but of course we won't do as much as we did. Not at we're approaching 80 years young here, but we can still be able to do that. Move around, even if it's just move around in Inglewood, move around in Los Angeles, whatever. Long as there's activity and there's life and there's things that you can do to make the world a better place. That's my goal, to make the world a better place, because there's a lot of things that we can do. And there are doctors of all types, and there are some that really just moving pharmaceuticals along, and then you have those that are using natural remedies to assist people in having better life. And so that is my goal, is to be able to continue down that path where I can see some of the people that I've seen before, and meet some new ones, and open my door here at the Holistic Health, Dr. Rab's Holistic Health Service. As long as there's life, then we will be here for those people who have a desire to make a change in their life. And so that part will be here as long as God willing. But the part that will allow me to be able to move about, even if it's not long distance, because I don't know that I would want to drive no long distance, but and depending also on what the outcomes will be here in the short term, with a lot of other things that are going on within our lives, because there are some things that are just atrocious right now, that the things that are being done to humans that shouldn't ever be done, and some of us are doing it to ourselves because we believe everything that we hear. And there's so much knowledge being shared out there about all of these things, and so many people are ignoring it, because I don't know if it's fear or if they just believe that that everything is this COVID this and COVID that, and you need to wear your mask and this and that. I mean, it's just a lot. It's a lot of stuff going on that it makes absolutely no sense. But for the people who think it does, and they're continually doing it, I guess they believe in it. And now you have the so-called authorities, and they get taking away the masks, and you don't have to do this, and the other people are, no, you better keep your mask on. So what do we do? Well, I say find the right road for you, and stop listening to people who are just doing what they want for their own reasons. And there's a lot of good programs that are airing, and most of them though are coming on YouTubes and Facebooks and things like that. They're not coming from the eyewitness news. You're getting all the wrong stuff there. Listen to Bobby Kennedy and the gentleman that they wrote the book about. Listen to them. Listen to people like that are willing to tell you the truth. And that way you don't have to bear all those consequences. Life is a precious commodity. And when we abuse anyone in any way like that, and we're talking about population control and too many people on the planet and all kinds of stuff, that's when it's time to get your hat on real good and start seeking the real one that's here for watching over people and not somebody who's just out here talking, and they want to decrease the population because they don't have enough room to ride their horses and play golf and whatever. So we need to be aware of the fact that life begets life. And we that want to live out our lives in peace would love to be left alone by those people who think that we are no more than trash, or just somebody to be filtered on or poked on, or whatever. So keep your mind open, keep your eyes open, and stay up and do something good for someone every now and then, and it'll make you feel better. Don't harm anyone. Don't, if you are doing something and you think it's right for you and the other person doesn't think it's right for them, let them alone. Because there are a lot of families have fallen apart because of this COVID situation, all of this, people, doing this and doing that, and because they think it's got to be done or whatever. It's a lot going on that we are being misused, abused, and confused. But natural health is always going to be here. And so I suggest that anyone who, if you have a little malady going on or you have something that isn't happening right for you, then stop by the Holistic Health Service. We may have a balm in Gilead for your sin-sick soul or your physically sick soul. We are here to share the love, share the life, and share our natural resources for those people who want to follow a natural plan for their life. And they're not looking for quick fixes and a lot of dead things trying to turn them into life. That's kind of a hard situation to do at that time. Again, we are live on Facebook and YouTube, and it's Dr. Nathan Rabb. And we welcome you. Welcome to visit. And if you want to subscribe, you can do that. So keep all that in mind. And each Wednesday, I'm jumping the gun here. Each Wednesday, we come on and share wealth, the wealth of life, the wealth of hope, and the wealth of God's natural medicines. That's what it's all about. Natural medicine, not pharmaceuticals, not things that man-made necessarily, but things that grew from the earth in good solid soil and good fertile soil. And all we need to do is properly, harvest it, and we can make teas out of it. We can make, various things, and we can make our natural medicines with it. That's what we've been doing. The naturopaths have been doing that all along. And so we're getting close to our shutdown time here, and we just want to thank you all for listening. And if you have need for some assistance in the realm that we operate, feel free to come on down by 429 West Manchester Boulevard, and we'll see if we can be of help to you. Now, our hours of operation, basically from 10 to 4 in the afternoon, and maybe better off to come right around 11 so you can make sure you get waited on properly. So I'm Dr. Nathan Rabb, and this is The Natural Way. And we hope to see you again next Wednesday, and we will either have new information for you or we'll share what we have already. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love.